Hello, everyone. This is my last show for today on June 19, 2021. I just got off with my mother, who is hilarious. But however, I'm excited for the show. Again, if you want to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, again, it's Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. If you want to advertise, be a sponsor, please call me, inbox me, 313-949-5768, or inbox me on Facebook as Sunshine Camila, Kamela. The show has been going on since the beginning of December of last year. And God told me to begin to talk to your people in your circle. And I have been doing just that. I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. In just one moment, we will have one of my friends on here who I recently got really close to um, in the last couple of months. And sometimes we have people that are close to you in your journey to encourage you, to push you, to get you to a certain level. And this person I have literally, among some other people, I literally almost talk to every day. She goes to my church, Destiny on Purpose, with Apostle Corey Harris, only lady Leandra Harris. And I'm so excited for her to come on in just a second. I'm getting messages. Everybody has been enjoying the show today. Everybody is geeked about my mom. She was telling me yesterday that she was going to be so nervous. Denise, I can't see you. She was going to be so nervous about being on the show. As you can see, my mom's a natural and so am I. She wasn't nervous at all. So today I have my cute sister Denise Jones on here.
Hi, everybody.
This another one that be saying she's nervous. It's me. She on her couch at her house. I'm on my couch in my house. And just to be sometimes I am friendly, believe it or not. Some people be thinking I'm mean. I just be in deep thought. I'm very watchful. Um, but she came in and it was like, wow, how where did she come from? You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes in your seasons you need a girlfriend. You need a person who will like sometimes walk you through some situations, walk you through, pray you through. And this is my prayer partner. This is my laugh partner. You name it. They call us the double mint twins at church, and we don't look like. But however, when you see one, you see the other. That's how we are. Um, so we gonna welcome her to the show, Denise Jones, my spiritual sister. Now, um, she, like I said, she's only been in my life in this moment a short time, but it feels like forever. And she has an ultimate story to tell. It's not um, it's all not peaches and cream, but thank God she don't look like what she been through.
Amen.
Her story today I labeled as the story of triumph, and I want her to talk about what she's been through, what she's walking through, and I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all. There's no need to be nervous because you already know me. So we're gonna start back at some of the things that you had to endure, um, and we're gonna go from there to dealing with your mom, going on to what you're dealing with the kids, and then we're gonna go into where we going from here,
Yeah.
the victory shout.
Yeah.
So let's go with there. So if I'm understanding correct, you have gone through some sibling things of rape,
Yeah.
being molested.
Yeah.
You have been through I don't want to say spousal abuse, but being
He
abused.
wasn't my husband, but yes.
Yes. And now going through singleness
Yeah.
with your children, and losing your mom. So these
Yeah.
are hints that I'm getting at, and where we are today. So let's go with the triumph over being raped and molested.
Well, at a young age, um, my mom was raising us. Well, I have my mother and my father, both of them, a real mother and real father. My mother had, it's six of us total. So she was just kind of, it's more boys. It's four boys and two girls. So she was very preoccupied, especially with the boys. Um, I was molested first. My next door neighbor, he literally made me have oral sex with him. And he urinated all over me. And he told me that if I were to tell, that he would kill me and he would kill my mother. So, and then when he urinated, I had to tell my mom that I just got wet up with the water hose, and I just went in the bathroom and kind of cried. And I'm like, I can't tell her, because if I tell her, then he gonna kill me. He gonna kill my mother. So I just kind of held that in for a long time. It did a lot of mental things to me. And I would say I probably was about maybe 6 or 7, about 6 or 7. So mentally, it kind of did a number on me. Yeah, so I carry that. And later on, I would say maybe 7.5. I was molested again by a cousin. My dad's cousin. He's older. Um, he was an alcoholic, and my parents were actually asleep in the house. It was nighttime. Um, my dad is from the South, so people would come up from the South, and he would kind of house them until he would get them jobs, and until they got on their feet and all of that. So my dad is like a great guy. He just did a lot for people, but he actually I woke up and he was touching me, and he was beside my bed, and he was like trying to make me do things, and then that kind of traumatized me. And that was at that point, I'm just like, I didn't want to be around men. I kind of clung to my mother. I didn't really want to be around men. And then the rape happened. So it was a lot to kind of carry in my head as a young girl. It manifests, those type of things manifest into bigger issues later. Especially like you were saying earlier about therapy, because I could not tell my parents, they couldn't do anything about it. So it just kind of manifested into something else later.
So to recap, one part was a neighbor, one part was somebody who a relative.
Yes.
And I had said on a show before that sometimes the convenient part is where we mess up at. because as parents, we take our eyes off, or we're not really paying attention, because you would think somebody close to you wouldn't do that to your children.
Yeah.
But because it's convenient, that's how the prey on the predator prey on the prey,
Yeah.
because they're convenient.
Yeah.
So be careful about that. Um, so if she's saying that it manifested later, so then she gets into a relationship that, well, I'll let you tell it.
Yeah. Well, I got into a relationship with my kid's father. Um, he was just so mentally and physically abusive. Um, I still had some things happening to me in my head over the rape. I mean, and over the molestation. I would cry even during being sexual. I would just cry, and to a grown man that really didn't. I didn't really express to him. He knew, but I didn't express to him like how it made me feel. And but they're kind of like, "What's wrong with you?" But he was just very abusive. It's almost like when things happen as a child, you start to accept other things because it's like you want to feel love. You want a gap to be filled. Actually, nothing gonna fill that gap until you get Jesus. But I was trying to find a way to fill the gap, And then, as I said, even with men, it was like I was still trying to. I dibbled and dabbled, trying to fill out how men were. I'm like, I can't, you know. It's like I didn't trust them. I didn't, you know. But my kid's father would. It became very dysfunctional. Like he would abuse me at night. He was an alcoholic. He would abuse me, call me out my name, tell me, what I'm not good for, just, but in the morning, I'm like, good morning, baby. What you want for breakfast? It's like your mind kind of uh suppress the things in your mind, the abuse, the name calling. And then it took me a long time to realize, even after later I got therapy and stuff, but it took me a long time to realize that these things were actually stemmed off, from
From
it
back
was
when you
just,
were a kid.
yes, and it's crazy. And then it's just things you accept, and it's things that it turned you into. I mean, common traits are just being like promiscuous. Common traits are dibbling and dabbling in different types of drugs. I didn't, but I mean, of course, the normal weed and alcohol and but I accepted a lot of things from people. I accepted abuse from people, not just my kid's father. He just was I was with him for 14 years. So uh, I have two children by him and 14 years worth of abuse. But then in the process of that, I was letting other people abuse me. I'm talking about in my family, out of my family, they can use me. It's like, I just want to make them happy. I don't want to make anybody, just kind of, and it just take you to a place.
So, what was the final straw to make you leave him?
Well, I left him when I had children. My first child. She was laying on her changing table when I'm changing her. My kid's father came in drunk, and he said, "B, I should stomp you." And he pushed me on the floor. And my daughter looking over the changing table at me on the floor. And it dawned on me, like my daughter said, she looking at me getting, because if anybody try this with her, I'm not gonna react too well. So I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And then after that, my kid's father was sleeping. You remember after they're drunk and they go into their drunken stupor and he was asleep. And I thought about all the stuff I can do to him when he sleeps. I said, I'm not going to jail. I got a baby to take care of. I can't go to jail. You know, like things went through my head about what I can do to him. And I said, it's time to go because either he gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill him, you know, or my daughter gonna grow up and feel like this okay. You know, I just gotta go. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. I'm like, Lord, give me a way out. You know, if you give me a way out, I'll go. The Lord gave me a way out 3 times, but the first 2 I wouldn't take it. I'm like, well, we've been in a relationship this long, Lord. I think it can work. You know, I prayed for him. I'm like, Lord, you can change him. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is you can't change nobody unless they want to change, unless they pray themselves. You can pray for a person until you blue in the face, but unless they want to change themselves, it's not going to happen. So that's what happened. That's why I had to go. I was going to be in jail.
And sometimes we can come from a good family, and as we notice over time, even with people that we see, undealt with trauma and drama.
Yes.
In your head, you think you okay.
Yes.
And it start manifesting. Your actions begin to, you be like, what? That don't, you know, some of the things that they say don't make sense.
Yes.
Sometimes instead of judging people, we need to get to the bottom of why they're doing or saying what they're saying, because something has happened. Just like a bully doesn't come out bullying, most likely they have been being bullied themselves in order for them to turn it around on somebody else.
Yep. And then a lot of times when things like this happen, it's a low self-esteem. You know, you feel a certain way about yourself. That's just like even with the child. If you keep telling them, oh, you're stupid, you're ignorant, you know, you talk like that to your child, what are they gonna grow up and think? You know, even in my abusive relationship, he told me all kind of stuff. And it manifested and I started believing that thing. You know, I didn't think I did, but that's something that literally lay inside of you. And you don't think you accepted it, mm-hmm. But that thing is just dormant.
I have learned also over time, being out of an abusive relationship. No, he never physically put his hands on me, but he had control over my mind.
Mm-hmm. That's even
and that was definitely a manipulative spirit. And so I began to do things and change my personality to make sure that they were good.
Mm-hmm.
I gave all my substance to the wrong one, to the wrong thing. And I began to think that I had no way out. As skilled as I was, as beautiful as I was, my mind couldn't wrap my head around that you can make it outside of this.
Yeah.
I had friends that was, you know, pushing and like, no, Camila, come on, like, come on, get, you know, like you, getting yourself out of uprooting yourself out of this dirt. Like, come on. And they're pushing. And then one day it was out of his mouth when he asked for a divorce and the light bulb came on. And it was, don't you dare fight this. This your way out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, now I'm in the rebuilding part. What am I going to do after this divorce? Find Camila.
Yes.
So for you coming out of, you know, you had 2 babies by this man. And then it was the blow with your mom going through cancer. What did your rebuild look like? Like, you see in the mirror in your face. What did the rebuild, what did you say to yourself to be like, okay, enough already?
It was a lot. leading even up to that. You know, after I left my kid's father, I'm like, okay, I'm about to leave with 2 kids by myself, no help, because my parents love me, but they're kind of strict. You know, my dad was like, look, you late and you can take some more. You still there, you can take some more. You know, he was doing it out of love, but he just was trying to. But when I left him, it's like, okay, Lord, what do I do now? I took the way out. You promised me that if I left, that me and my children would lack nothing, we would be good. So just show me how to move. Show me how to, you know, be a single parent, you know. So I moved out of our house. I left him the house. The Lord said, leave everything behind. He said, I want you to start new. I'm going to give you and your children everything. And he said, you will lack nothing. And we did.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved into an apartment for a year and got myself together. And then we moved out of it. After a year, we moved out into us a house. Then my mom got sick. She ended up with breast cancer. And I was like, okay, well, you know, that's curable. You know, we can do this. My mother is like my best friend, you know. She was at sorry, my daughter trying to call me. But she was like my backbone. She was like my strength, you know. So she ended up getting a mastectomy. And they said the spot wasn't that big, you know. So they said they could just take it off, but she like, no, just take the whole thing. She had a mastectomy, and but the cancer metastasized. The cancer went from the breast to the stomach, from the stomach to the bone, and from the bone to the brain. So it was just all a process, you know. So it was almost like a nightmare I couldn't wake up out of. But I thank the Lord because the Lord is so merciful that He showed me. He showed me what was gonna happen. It was still hard for me to take the blow. It lightened the blow, but it was just like I was in a nightmare. So anyway, just moving past that, you know, I learned to just take every day as it comes, to just thank God for every day.
One thing sometimes we don't realize that, you know, we be depressed.
Yeah.
We don't realize it. You know, we're moving in our mind. We just doing a day by day thing.
We are.
I literally, my house was full of junk everywhere. And while I was dating my boyfriend, husband now,
Mhm.
I would have him come over. I would grab him by his hand and lead him through paths that I had on the floor, like stuff everywhere.
Really?
It was a lot of stuff that was left from my divorce that I
Oh,
thought he was coming back to get. Never did. So I'm all like, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get myself back into some type of normalcy. And
yeah.
I would bring him, like, might as well say, I had it in here dark for a reason. I would be like, close your eyes, just, you know, grab my hand. We're going to walk
Yeah.
through. Yeah. And then one day he was like, you're going to work. And I said, yeah, don't go in this room. Don't do this. Don't, you know, he was like, okay. So instead of listening, he said God told him to clean my house up.
Wow.
And he cleaned up stuff. And I'm like, I look like I had a new house. I kid you not. I was
Wow.
like, wow.
That was a
He
blessing.
said, I'm gonna love you back to health.
Glory to God.
And I didn't realize how depressed I was. I'm thinking I'm the strong one. I got this. You ain't gonna see me crying. You're not gonna see me do all of this stuff. And I held a lot of things in. Even when I could expose, I didn't. And so sometimes we think that we're over situations, that what we do is we get back into a toxic relationship.
Yes. Yeah,
Another toxic relationship.
you gotta be careful because you'll repeat. It'll be like a cycle. You're stuck in it. It'll just be repetitive. And it's almost like you attracting type of people.
Exactly. So
it's like you a magnet.
When I came into friendship with you, and I was hearing, I was seeing, I was like, something is not right with this picture.
Yeah.
We can't do this. Because if you really my friend, as my mother said, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I can't tell you you're my friend, and I can't tell you the truth. I've had friends who have died at the hand of another man.
Yes. I have
I
family
love you
that
too
got
much.
killed by men. Yes.
I love you too much. I can't say you my sister. And I'm the one that'd be like, okay, where they at? And then I had to catch myself.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. If I come help you and you go back, don't call me. Because you only got one.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one I'm going to put my hands on. I'm going to pull something. And if you go back, that means I just put my life at risk for nothing.
Yeah.
I can't say you my sister and I know stuff. And I'm like, no, ma'am. This got to go. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because next time you might not escape.
Yep, it happens. It happens. Like I said, I was pregnant with my children. I have two women that were literally killed by their boyfriends in my family. And it seemed like it would make you back down, from stuff. But hey, like that sometimes that would happen to you. It just keep you in a cycle.
Absolutely.
So I believe it's absolutely necessary to have spiritual help and natural help, therapy and a Lord. So
you have to. Because for one, it has to come out. There's something still in you that's attracting those type of people.
yes.
Are you looking for acceptance? Are you looking for listen?
Yes.
Now, where I am mentally and what I'm striving for, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
The red flags come up. Oh no, we're not doing it.
It does.
And so when you have one day we're going to talk about it, and I'm gonna have some other people talk about sisterhood. Sometimes you have to be that strength for the other person.
Yes.
Until they come into themselves, until they see it themselves. Sometimes you have to be the visionary and see it like, look, don't take that, don't accept that, get that out your house, this, and that, because no.
Yep. Sometimes your sister, look, sometimes they get tired, but they say it over and over again until you get it. That's all a part of loving somebody. That's all a part of saying when you love somebody, you literally you're gonna have to tell them. And I know sometimes she gets tired of me, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I appreciate having sisters like her. because I've like you, Sunshine. You told me the truth. It's a lot of things that you helped me to come through, and it's things that the Lord even speak to both of us about each other, and I appreciate that. I have a natural sister. I have one sister, but she lives in another state. I was never really, as close to her as I would like to be. So when the Lord brought spiritual sisters, I was just like, oh, thank you, Lord.
And it's
But
it's multiple, and it's okay. Like we there's I think out the group, I'm the only one that's married. Now that I think about
yeah,
it.
yes,
So a lot of stuff is like, listen, before you even think about it, you know what I'm saying? You got to have these conversations. You got to be real. You got to be transparent. You got
mm,
to do these things, because I don't want you to get out here, think this is the one and it's a counterfeit, for one.
yes,
And then two, we have to still have self-healing. I'm still, even though like September will be a year, there's still molding coming together with my own. So
yes,
it don't happen overnight. And I've known him for years. So imagine if it was somebody I did not know.
yes.
However, um, one of the things that I thought was cool, I've never had where you just go shopping. I'm not a shopper. If you close to me, I don't do this. So one day she's like, let's go look at some wigs. And I want to get some makeup. And I'm like, girl, you with the wrong person. I'm like, I don't, where you going with
Just
this?
sister stuff.
So we went in here and I was just in awe, like, oh my God, look all of these. And it's more so like you get to see yourself in a different light when you have on a wig. I didn't understand it at first. And
Yes.
so I found one and I saw one, and it's one I'm still gonna get. And I was just like,
There you
oh
go.
my God, that blue, yes, yes. Um, and I was
You
like, we
had
gotta
your
come
eye
back
on that
here.
one the whole time. You had your eye on that one the whole time.
Yes, and I'm still gonna get it. So I'm all thinking to myself, this is why we have, sisters, they might take you in a place you're not comfortable. That's where I'm going with.
Yes.
The place that you're not comfortable, you might go with them, they might be afraid, they might be nervous, whatever. And we can hold each other hand, and we do this often. Hold each other hand through the difficult times, through those moments where we might not feel the strength, but we're here. I told her she has a family outside of a family.
Yeah.
um I help with the kids, when she's overwhelmed sometimes. Or there's, we have a big prayer group. And so we'll help. We'll come to your rescue. You're not by yourself.
Yes.
And that's the part that I really love about a sisterhood is I don't have to feel like I'm going through life by myself. I
Yes.
don't need a man, but at the end of the day, you're not by yourself.
Yes.
I have so hint hint, her daddy, my mama.
Uh-oh.
I said, what if we become sisters in real life for real? And so this whole princess boat thing, we kind of like blind date, kind of. Who knows? You heard my mama, she said she want to get married again.
Yes.
And her dad reminds me so much of my daddy. If y'all seen a picture of him, I was like, you my daddy. You was my daddy. So we have met, we have talked, we every time he's on the phone, I'm like, hey daddy, love you. And so who knows what's, around the corner, even if it's just a friendship, that everybody needs companionship.
Yeah.
They've been through the ringers, both of them. And so I appreciate Denise being transparent with me as I am with her. It was the perfect timing. Uh, we are both, as they say, seers, and we see a lot. We pray together. Like I said, I talk to this girl almost every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm excited to see her through, to help see her through, to push her to that wedding dress, to push her into
Come on, hubby. No.
push her into a space of peace,
Yes.
and tranquility. That's oh, there's nothing like it.
I just thank God that even in my singleness, the Lord has given me peace. I'm talking about not no mediocre peace. I'm talking about that good type of peace that passes all understanding type of peace. You know, a lot of people are very anxious, wondering when and how long, Lord. I'm in a place in my life where I just want to crawl in my bed, get in my word. I get my kids to bed, I pray with them, I anoint them, and I just want to have my time with the Lord. He has taken me into a whole different place in Him. So I do understand the process. It's a process before any, like I said, I'm embracing my singleness. I'm embracing it. Do I want to get married? Of course I do. Every female want to get married. But however, I am willing to go through the process.
So what are some of the lessons that you have learned from the bad relationships that you have encountered, to kind of let people know, like, no, you don't have to accept this.
Well, first of all, I want to give glory to God who was the head of my life. No, look, I got to say, look, the Lord literally, as I told you, the Lord gave me I hear a sound. So um when a guy start talking, I kid you not, it's a sound. And I'm like, oh, that's not it. Okay, it was nice meeting you. You have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Um, I have learned, I have learned that first of all, to be patient. Time is gonna reveal a lot of things. Just to be patient. I talk to people, but half of the people that I start to talk to, I find out through the Holy Spirit, I'm just meant to minister to these people. Every person is not for to talk to their assignments. So I've learned to wait. So until I get an okay, then I don't proceed with anything. But so that's about it. I just like I said, I just keep my relationship tight with God so that I can have an eye to see and ear to hear. That's all.
Hmm. So also with your children, they have been diagnosed with what?
Well, my daughter, she's been diagnosed with ADHD. They are doing a ADOS test, which means that they are autism has a broad spectrum. So they're testing for autism. But I really don't see. I don't see where she's autistic or she has ADHD because um, she's able to. Well, when she was younger, I'm gonna start here. This is where I'm starting. So when she was in Head Start, her teacher said she kind of noticed some things, which I did too. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work with her over summer. She's gonna be okay. I started to notice she couldn't sit and watch like a TV. All kids like cartoons and stuff. She just couldn't focus. Like she just about two minutes, it was over. It was like she was all over the place. I couldn't calm her down. She talk a mile a minute. It was like, it's kind of like, and I'm just like, okay. So in school, her teacher called me and said, Miss Jones, we have an issue. She would be like under the desk crying, and I noticed it was a problem, but I'm like, okay. Um, as she went into first grade and second grade and stuff like that, I noticed little things happening. Um, they always tried to get me to put her on a med, but I never would put her on meds. I tried all natural things. Um, she is 11 now. I think I started the med at about 9. I never would give her a med because I'm just like, this is not the way that they made it look is not the way it really was. I'm like, she's not like that at home. That's like, she was having social anxiety. Like right now, she still have a little anxiety and stuff like that. Now, as we were talking about um, the relationship thing with my kid's father, I almost feel like that stemmed from her sin. I think she's saying, and she would get anxiety when he was arguing, when he was drunk and stuff like that. So I don't feel like it's like ADHD. I feel like it's a form of uh, something that happened younger. You know what I'm saying?
Like she's traumatized.
Yeah, it's almost like a try. So I started getting her therapy. So she gets therapy. And don't you know, lo and behold, she's 120% better than she was at the beginning. Like I said, right now she still has a little anxiety sometimes. She's like sensitive to loud noises. When people start hollering, she kind of get, stuff like that. But since therapy, those other issues has resolved. I don't have her on the med. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really strongly believe that we just need to watch our children and just pay attention. And don't believe everything people say. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the people just put a diagnosis on them. We have to advocate for our children. We are responsible as parents to indulge in them, just to see what's on their mind. Some days I just go lay in the bed with my children and say, what you thinking about? What you worried about something? What just see what's on their mind. Are you sad? Do you miss grandma? How you feel? Uh, just see what's on their mind. And do you still have anxiety? Have anything been worrying you? Just start to talk to them. Pray with them. And that's about what I do.
That's good. Like my mother was saying too, that sometimes you can't, as they say, parent all, fit all to all your children because they're individually. You can't love them all the same because it might have took me more or it might have took my sister less. Whatever the case may be, like we had the conversation with you being the first, you're the experiment child.
Uh-huh.
By the time the second and third one get here or more, you an expert. So those things are important. Also, like I said, with you being single, the village has to come back. The village
it's no village. It ain't no village no more. I'm gonna just say that right now. I mean, I see a lot of families where I see is more help like coming in than me. It was just nothing at first. I'm just like, oh my, my dad is older and my dad is dealing with some health things on his by itself. And my sister is in another state. My brothers are kind of still out there and they stuff. And it's like, and I'm not the type of person that's gonna call like, hey, could you watch the kids? I'm not like that because I've been through so much. I'm scared to let somebody hold on to my children because of what happened to me. I'm like, so I tried before I left my kid's father, between us, we never did daycare. We never had the family to come. It was me and him with those kids. So when I left him, it made it so much. Oh, it was crazy. It's still crazy now. But right now, what the Lord did, even though I lost my mom, he gave me a spiritual mom. My sister's in another state. He gave me spiritual sisters. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful.
Absolutely. Excuse me. And he will do that because, like I said, sometimes we don't know um, by day to day or
Yes.
moment by moment. Sometimes because you're dealing with so much that sometimes we can't talk it out. Sometimes we can't express it, and sometimes it comes out in our actions versus
Hmm.
us verbally saying it. And so, I just appreciate you going beyond how you felt to come on the show because there is a need. There is a need for honesty across the board for those who are single, for those who are with your kids, those who have dealt with being raped, molested, what those who are dealing with, their parents might be deceased or someone in the family close to them, period. You can live beyond this. You will live beyond this. And sometimes, like my mother said, grieving takes time. It does take time. But guess what? My dad passed in 2000 February 2016. She's now in a place where she's ready to get out there. She's ready to have a friend. She's ready to have a companion. You would have asked her that 2 or 3 years ago, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But now she's in that place. And so we have to understand, yes, we get blows in life, but it's to make us stronger. It's for us to turn around and tell somebody else that, hey, I went through that too, but guess
Yeah.
what? I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
still smiling. You have those moments where my mom also mentioned this that she went through different phases where she hated that he was gone. She hated my dad, like when he left. It wasn't his choice, but she was upset because they had plans. And even during the time that she was, it had freshly happened. My dad, what we did not know, my dad had bought her a bracelet and was sending charms. So while he had just passed, every day for a week, I think it was, a charm for her bracelet was coming.
Wow. Wow.
So I said, well, did he know certain things he was doing prior to him passing made us believe he knew his time was coming.
I believe they know.
And so it was trying time. Like I said earlier, I was going through basically separation at the time when I lost my best friend, my dad. And so I had to decide, look, mentally, God, I need you to show up right now, or I
Yeah.
ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And so there's so many levels to a sisterhood that even over time you'll begin to see why we were placed together, why even as we say, you already know who we are. I'm not gonna say it on here, but
Yeah.
however, you already know. And so I just appreciate you taking the time out beyond your apprehension of it, to tell your story, because baby, you don't look like nothing you've been through. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I
And
thank God.
that time is coming. You already know.
Yes. Victory time.
The triumph over the story that hasn't yet finished being told.
Yes.
There's new chapters, there are new levels to it. The exciting that I look at stuff like we just went through an elevation together,
Yes.
and the difference, um, and just being close to going through this journey together and seeing you develop, even from being in the background, being comfortable being in the background,
Sitting all the way in the back. That's right.
to now you can't help it but be in the front. And so I'm excited to see. I'm excited to be a part. I'm excited to, even when that time come where your heart's desire is being fulfilled. I am
Amen.
excited for you. Um, and again, you don't look like nothing that you have been through. The story of triumph that this woman right here has survived, overcame being raped, overcame being molested, going through the death of her mom, going through bad relationships to the point choking, all of this crazy stuff, um, going over to the point where we really closing the doors on abusive relationships, um, to the point of even being holding her dad's hand while he's going through what he's going through. You're stronger than you think you are. You're a lot stronger than you think you are. And even if don't nobody else ever say that they were proud of you, I definitely am. Even in the short moments of time that I've known you, I the the opportunities and the things that you had to walk away from, and you
Yeah.
know what that is.
Yes, I do.
Just know God's gonna pay you back for all of that.
Oh my God.
So
I thank God.
um, this woman is very strong. She's very prophetic. She can see, she can hear. Them dreams ain't no joke. But however, after this, as they say, we get to smile, we get to laugh, we get to really enjoy life. We're actually going somewhere soon together. And so I'm excited for that. We're only a couple of days down. And what are we, 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks?
I don't even think it's a whole 3 weeks, is it?
However,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a good time, and so we're about making memories, and so I'm excited. And did you want to say anything else before we get off?
It's a part that I actually wanted to say about me conceiving my children, because I feel like that's gonna bless somebody. The Lord told me, well, I said the Lord. I'm sorry, the doctors told me that I wouldn't have children. I had it started from dysplasia, from mild dysplasia, severe dysplasia, and it turned into cervical cancer. The doctors told me I wouldn't have children. And I was always told since I was younger I wouldn't have children. And lo and behold, after I turned, that they wanted to give me a hysterectomy because I literally felt like the woman in the Bible with the issue of blood. I bled for a year straight, a whole year, nonstop blood. I'm talking about going through surgeries and blood transfusions. And the doctor said, well, let's just do a hysterectomy. My mother was like, no, no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? No, thank you. God got the final say. And so I was okay. My brothers had babies, I had two nieces, and everybody started having kids. And I'm just at first I was kind of sad, like I'm really not gonna have no babies. I was but I was like, forget it. I had them, and I'm like, I can return them when I want to. I can play with them and send them home, play with them and send them home. That's okay for me. But even though I was not married, I still got the desires of my heart. They did. I had 8 surgeries, and finally they did a cone biopsy. They took all of the cancer out in the cone, and it didn't return. I didn't have to get chemo or radiation, but I still couldn't have kids. So, so they ended up doing another surgery, and then at the end of the surgery, they did a DNC. Lo and behold, I got pregnant at 31. My mom worked at Chrysler at the time. I blew her phone up to she answered. Said, Mama, the doctor say I'm pregnant. She said, tell him to test you again. It's like I took about 5 tests, and then I found out I was having a baby at 31. And my other one was born at 35. But I just wanted to say that because, oh, and I'm about to give y'all the topic of, I mean, the doctor that told me I wasn't gonna have children deliver my babies. What about that? He was like,
Wow.
what? Yes, the doctor that told me I wasn't going to have children. Oh, well, you know what? Even if you conceive, you're going to miscarry. Your cervix is too short. You know, all those surgeries you had, the scar tissue. You know, I'm like, you gonna get her out or not? You know. So I just wanted to say that because it's a lot of women that I know that has not had children or that think they can't. They've had issues, but God is still God. He is a God that sit up high and look down low. He is the restorer and he is the redeemer. And he is able to do exceedingly and abundantly. Okay, I'm not going to, but y'all know the rest. But I just want to say that.
You already know.
Yes, but I just wanted to share that. I know we probably are out of time, but I just wanted to share that because it's a lot of women that I keep saying, they're like, I'm not going, going to have kids and this happened to me. I don't care what happened. If he can do it from Abraham and Sarah and they old as dirt, then I know for sure that he can fix a little issue in your body.
Absolutely. I receive it too.
Yes.
That helped me out a lot. Just the thought of I'm not a spring chicken either. And I do want to have children. Um, and so that I receive the encouragement that God got the final say. I know they coming. I know it's gonna be a boy and a girl. I just don't know when. And so every day is it's today today is today today, and even if it's not, I still go on. So thank you for the encouragement to
And decree and declare that thing and bring that thing forth.
well, you already know. So
We shall have the fruit of your lips. You're going to have the fruit of your lips. Bring it forth.
so Chelsea Nicole,
Come on, Chelsea.
um so I'm excited, and when y'all find out when it's coming, y'all gonna get tired of me talking about it. I'm telling you now, because it's
No,
gonna happen.
your sister's going to rejoice with you. You got to rejoice with those who rejoice.
Absolutely. So thank you again for coming on the show, for telling your true story, for being transparent with us. I love you to life.
Love you.
And I will enjoy the rest of your Saturday, this wonderful, wonderful Freedom Day. And I will talk to you shortly.
Okay. Love everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.